Welcome to the final day of demons, dogs, deliverance, and a deaf guy. I've talked a lot about things. I've tried to be as clear as I can. Now I'm going to be as simple as I can with this final part of Mark 7. Let's talk about the deaf guy. He appears as a person that Jesus interacts with, and I'm not going to get into too big of a detail about how the healing takes place, but this is what happens with this deaf man. It says, and taking him aside across the crowd privately, this deaf man appears to Jesus, I should say, and he's taken with a spirit who is mute. He's muted, and this is what Jesus does to heal him. And I want you to pay attention not to the healing as much as what happens after. It says, they take him aside privately, so Jesus pulls him aside privately, puts his fingers in his ears, and after spitting, touched his tongue, looked up to heaven, and said to him, Epiphatha. Okay, so I should have practiced that. And that is, be opened. And his ears were opened, his tongue was released, and he spoke plainly. And Jesus charged to them, telling no one. And the more he charged them, the more zealously they proclaimed it. And they were astonished beyond measure, saying, he has done all these things. And he even makes the deaf hear and the mute speak. Now, I want to pause here and handle two things. Number one, why did Jesus need to put his fingers in his ears? Why did Jesus need to heal him this way through spit? There are historical records at the time of people using spit in medicinal ways. All right, so this is one speculation. It's the one that I could seem to land with the most consensus on. A couple other people said, well, it's Jesus, showing that his very presence, his being, even his spit has medicinal purposes. I think that's a bit of a stretch because he heals a lot of people without using spit. So the bottom line is this: he heals this guy, and he does it in a very, very dramatic way. Now, let's talk about, why did Jesus tell people that I don't want people to know about this? There's a couple reasons, and I want to land on this because it happens a lot in Mark. Number one, he tells people, I don't want you to talk to people about this, because the moment people started to receive healing, it spread so much that Jesus was followed by thousands and thousands and thousands of people. It was impossible for him to minister. You see that in Mark chapter 2 or 3, I believe, 2 or 3, when the roof is let down. And we see that Jesus can't even get into the home, and they can't even have anybody outside of the home. There's so many people that are pressing on that they have to lower the paralyzed person down through the roof to get to Jesus inside. So we find in these stories that Jesus has so many people. So there was a logistical reason. He's like, look, stop doing this because so many people are coming for healing that it's, this is spreading. There's a theological reason, though, and this is found more in the Gospel of John. Jesus revealed who he was slowly and progressively over his ministry. And you'll see in John a statement. It's the opposite of Mark. John will record Jesus saying, my time has not yet come, my time has not yet come, my time has not yet come, my time has not yet come. It's repeated several times. So he would do that with regard to revealing who he was. He would do that with regard to miracles. And then we find towards the end of Jesus' ministry, when he's about to be crucified, he tells his disciples the time has now come. He is going to be crucified. He is going to be put up on a fake trial and nailed to the cross for the whole world to see. And then he is going to be resurrected and inevitably glorified, ultimately fulfilling the plan that the Father had wrought in heaven and eternity, and that Jesus obeyed and listened to and submitted to while on earth, empowered by the Holy Spirit. But it was all in God's time. So Jesus sending people away and saying, I don't want people to know about this, is more about God's timing than it is about, I don't want you to be excited about the thing I'm doing for you. So I want to just say one thing about this, and this is an encouragement to me as you read this, and I hope it encourages you. When you see that, just know that God cares about timing, and timing matters. And some of you, you've been praying for something for a really long time, and you want that thing so bad, you want that thing so bad, you want that thing so bad. And God is telling you, slow down. It's okay. The timing isn't right. And you have to trust him with his timing the way that Jesus trusted his Father about the revelation of their timing. Because if you do that, if you're able to do that, you then start to depend more on God to do what he wants to do and less on yourself on knowing the timing. I'd rather just depend on him. I'm going to really really, 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 really weird season of my life when it comes to my professional stuff on the side and my church stuff. It's just a really, really weird season. And there's things that are happening for me on the side that's like stuff that I've been working on for years with no one really knowing about it. And God is just doing so many things. And when I pray, I always stop and I thank him for his timing. Like his timing is perfect because he knows. And he reveals to you what you need to know. I don't need to know the whole plan. I just need to know that he's in charge of it. Like I want to be that simple. I don't need to know all the plan. I just need to know that he's the one that's orchestrating the plan. So whatever God is doing, just know that he's doing something. And it's in his time.